The Path.
The Pathbikeshop.
The show is on.
I had the biggest smile on my face.
Taking it to a whole new level.
Pitch and bike. Shred simulator.
You have like a angry style.
Yeah, we're called Play Hard.
We've had some good times.
It's August 13th, 2025. Welcome to the Path Podcast. My name is Tani. Stoked to be here as always with Doc.
It's good to be here with you too. Sure it's not 2026?
Right before the podcast, we were reviewing the notes, and it was podcast August 13th, 2026. And I got a little spun around.
It almost feels a little like it is 2026. I can't believe that we're like 8/12ths of the way through the year.
Oh, man. Time is flying. I was just having these weird thoughts of like, how do you know what 2026 is going to feel like?
So it's been a good past couple of weeks for myself. How's it been for you?
I've been working a lot. You went to Mammoth.
I went to Mammoth.
Yeah.
It was like the multi-sport, multi-adventure 8 days.
Awesome.
Yeah. So all four of the Ock family made it up for the full time. We did quite a few days of fishing.
Catch anything?
We didn't catch a lot, but we did catch quality.
Some trout?
We caught some trout. We caught everything that we were catching was in that 14 to 17 inch range. So
That's a good sized trout.
no small fish, and a couple of them. One of them fed the four of us.
Nice. How'd you prepare it?
So I didn't want to fry it, so I just cleaned it. I scaled it. The bigger ones I always scale. The little ones I don't scale, but the bigger ones I scale. So scaled it, and I did super thin slices of lemons inside, and then on the outside I did really like a thin coating of mayonnaise.
Oh, cool.
And then a little bit of salt and pepper on top of that, and then some panko breadcrumbs, and then I threw it in the oven. And about halfway through, so bake for about 20 minutes or so at 425. About halfway through, I pulled it out, and we had bought this double smoked bacon from Mahogany Smoked Meats on the way up to Mammoth in Bishop. They're bacon chunks, and we cut them up really small and fried them. And I took the bacon grease and I drizzled it over the top about halfway through.
My mouth is watering.
It was on point.
That's awesome.
And the fish were big, the decent size, so you could tell they were starting to turn pink. They were like holdovers from the last season.
What body of water?
Let's see. We caught some out of Rock Creek Lake, which is a little bit south of Mammoth, off the 395. It's at the top end of the old, I think they call it the Rock Creek Trail.
I've heard of that.
Rides down into Paradise. So at the very top end of it, there's a turnout in the place called Tom's Place. And then you go up into the Sierras, and it's the terminal lake, one of the terminal lakes up there. And yeah, it was fantastic. It's kind of cool on the backside. It's shallow, and then there's a sharp drop off. And the past few years, we've taken to just rolling up our shorts and walking out to the edge of the dropout and fishing from there. And so that's where we've been doing pretty well. Yeah, it gets your line out probably 30 to 50 yards further than you would have otherwise. Lures.
What type?
So we've been using pretty much like Thomas Boyant's. So they're shaped like a spoon.
Oh, yep.
And then the silver and gold ones have been doing well with like kind of trout colored dots on them.
Cool.
And then the blue, of all things, a blue and silver Castmaster. So it's a very plain like lure. Yep. And so yeah, those been doing well.
Fun. What else did you do up there?
So let's see. Did some adventure hike running. Ran a trail that had 1,000 feet of gain in under a mile, and it was all that loose talus pumice. It was like if you took beach sand and you tilted it on its side, there were some points where it was like 40% grade.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good times. We realized we should have ran it the other way. Same amount of gain, but the other way didn't have that loose talus stuff. So, but that was a lot of fun. Did some disc golfing. I think I've talked about that. enjoyed the disc golfing up there. They have this beautiful course in the forest. A lot of fun, and my older son got into disc golfing this trip, and that was pretty fantastic. I think he got into it because he didn't want to go running with mom up a pretty steep hill, but he enjoyed it. And,
That's awesome.
And riding. So this was the first time. Well, I pedaled up did some pedal biking on the mountain. Thanks to Eric, who was on the show last time, for sending me a nice little route that I could pedal. That was fantastic. And I upgraded my firmware.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So the firmware we're talking about is the Bosch Gen 5 motor firmware upgrade. I've got the Santa Cruz Bullet.
You went from 85 to 100 Newton meters?
85. This one goes to 11.
How's it feel?
Like it goes to 11.
It's fast, huh?
Oh my gosh. Yes. And it's fast. It's powerful. The uphills, I see what you mean. Like the gap between downhill cornering on sharp hairpin berm turns the gap is closing, climbing versus down.
Yes. And maybe in some conditions even closed, because when you're going uphill, the brakes work really good.
That is true.
So all your braking points can be later.
Yeah.
You can carry more speed through sections where you might have to be controlling speed just so that you can slow down for a certain part.
Right.
And
right. Exactly.
so, yeah. I would say there's depending on the trail,
right,
the uphill can be almost more kind of interesting and potential for a step off than the downhill.
That's true.
But that whole thing with brakes working better and slowing down easier does layer some safety in there.
I think so. The other thing that was really, besides the 100 Newton meters, is the 2 meter overrun.
Yeah.
And
did you use it a lot?
At first, no, but it adds to the uphill cornering.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And
are you roosting out of turns with it?
Almost.
I haven't installed that on my bike yet. I need to do that.
Yeah, there's like a 2-step process, right? You do the firmware upgrade that I think that boosts you to the 100 Newton meters. And then the second thing is you have to set the 2 meter overrun.
And you have to, just doing the upgrade doesn't boost your power. You have to go in and change the setting too.
Yes.
And did you have to update your app on the App Store, your Bosch Flow app?
I have that set to update
automatically. So for listeners, if you're having issues, maybe try updating the app.
Yes.
That has been something we've kind of helped. People call us, I can't get the updates. Did you update the app? That'll be the first question.
Yep. Update the app.
The app in the app, like if it's an app store.
Yeah. And I was able to update my bike as I was driving to the trailhead.
Wow.
It's pretty straightforward. My Bluetooth and my, the distance from my bike to the car was okay. But so what I was finding is sharp switchback type uphill cornering with little ledgy like climbs at the exit, which would be the entrance, if you're coming down, but at the exit, that 2 meter overrun on that, once you kind of get that sense of what you're supposed to be doing on it, and it's, to me, it's I think about it, I think it's about one whole revolution of the wheel.
Okay.
And so like just think about 2 meters, think about as you're kind of boosting over little ledgy climbs or step ups, that's kind of the amount of distance that you're going to get. And so that your timing in my mind's eye, I was kind of envisioning that. And it was fantastic. That 2 meter overrun is fantastic. Yeah.
Love it.
The 100 Newton meters. Again, you're at like 10,000 feet.
And you have the push fork on your bike now, or you're about to?
I'm about to.
I'm really excited to hear you talk about that.
I am excited to try it. Yeah.
Yeah, I did get to try it again since we last spoke.
Ooh, and how was that? Where was that and how was that?
In Laguna.
Ooh, nice.
and it was really good. Like I had the 2 previous rides were, I just didn't feel like I didn't feel like I was holding lines well.
Right.
And, you know, it's tough to say whether that's the equipment at all,
right.
or whether that's just getting used to something different.
Sure.
And I still don't really know the answer to that, but I had a great ride, and that fork felt really good on that ride.
Right.
So the Push 9-1, and I was running we just got the new one in that has the hydraulic bottom out. The one I was running is the previous one that has the air bottom out.
Oh, okay. Right.
But it felt great. The plushness is insane.
Yeah.
The fore-aft stiffness is insane.
Yep.
The torsional stiffness isn't insane.
Right.
I think it took me some getting used to, and I think it was like in my head a little bit.
Sure.
/ maybe it took. There's also, here's the other thing, and I think I mentioned this on the last podcast, is, it doesn't tuck as much.
Right.
Which is, I'm convinced, definitely a good thing.
Right.
But if you're used to your front axle moving an inch back when you hit the front brakes and it doesn't,
Right.
it may not seem like a good thing at first.
Yeah. You got to adjust to that.
And it's not like I made a conscious adjustment. I think just riding it enough.
Right.
I don't know that that's like something you would adjust to consciously.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, like the tucking is essentially it's increasing the head tube angle.
So I don't really know of what I speak, except I'm just trying to interpret my experience.
Sure.
And my best, just like throw something against the wall interpretation, is that added torsional flex combined with less fore-aft flex is a different set of trade-offs for sure.
Right.
Probably a good set of trade-offs.
Yep.
But it is a new set of trade-offs that might take some getting used to.
Sure. I mean, we've been riding the other way.
Right. So even if something's good, sometimes it took us a while to get used to shorter cranks.
Right. Exactly. And longer reaches.
So I'm really excited now to try the Fox Podium fork, which is also inverted. That's on my bike now. I got to tell you, it looks really good on my bike. I was kind of having color envy on people who got the teal color.
Podium. Oh, the teal color, right.
Like, my bullet's black.
Right.
A lot of the guys got the
teal, yeah, which is
and
really solid.
I ordered the color before I saw them in person. And once I saw them in person, I wanted the teal one.
Yeah.
But
now you have the podium on it.
I would say the podium looks really good on the black one because the gold logos on the bike.
Yeah.
And just like black on black. And it really cured my
your
my
color
teal,
envy.
My
your teal envy.
Yeah. My teal FOMO.
Well, speaking of the 914, here it is. The shop has one in stock.
Yep.
So this is a nice looking fork.
It really is.
That laser etched, the laser etched logo. I like the execution of the guards. The guards here. It's 15 millimeter axle.
Yep.
So you don't have to get a new hub.
Yep. And we've talked about it before on the podcast. Some of the other benefits of inverted forks are the lubricant is pulled by gravity towards the seals and bushings.
Yeah.
You win the sprung versus unsprung weight trade-off.
Right. Right.
And on the fork that you have on your bike, you might notice a little bit of weeping around the crown of suspension fluid. Mm-hmm. It's safe to ride. It's fine to ride.
Yeah.
It would get straightened out if we were customers and not just trying the fork.
Right. Right.
Brunner Eric, who was on the podcast recently, actually guessed that it was coming out from the bleed port area.
Okay.
And I talked to Push, and they said that's what's happening. So they say it's fixed on this one.
Right.
Which we shouldn't see that on this one, but if you see that fluid on there, that's what's going on.
Right. Got it. Yeah. Really nice execution. So anyways, this is the Push 9.1.
And it's a tiny amount of fluid, by the way.
Right.
Like barely perceptible.
How did the 9.1 look on your black bullet?
It looked great, but the one I had on there wasn't all black like this.
Oh.
And just the gold logos just happen to match that bike.
Right. You're right. All right. So that's the 9.1 fork. I'm going to try and get that on my bike to demo as well and see how that goes.
Yeah. At the risk of sharing too much,
Yep.
I have some news about the cranks we're working on, the Farrowline cranks.
Okay.
So we were pretty much wrapping up
Testing.
field testing.
And, yep.
We were good on lab testing, and I was working on an order, and we found a crack. I was we were like just towards the, like, let's look at these, and found a crack on one.
Oh,
so
man.
we're it's interesting, it's like hindsight's 2020.
Yep.
I was talking to the engineer about it after we found it and showed him the pictures, and I was like, I think now that I'm thinking about it, if I'd thought about it, I could have guessed that might be where it was going to crack, if it was going to crack.
Okay.
And he's like, really? He's like, I think you've got felt a little defensive. Right. And I'm like, hey, no, I'm not saying I saw this. I'm saying if you offered me $1 million, if I can guess, like, tell me this is going to crack, and tell me you'll give me $1 million if I guess where. That's one of the spots I would have picked. And so it's interesting. It's there's the pocket on the back of the crank.
Yep.
And the pocket transitions to there being no pocket where the pedal goes into the crank, and it's
Correct.
full thickness.
Correct.
And the kind of wall of the pocket on the side is not super thick.
Yeah.
It's thick enough. It's strong.
Right.
But right where the pocket ends, right at the end of the pocket, is where it cracked.
Oh, by the pedal.
Just in the side, like, it still seems like it's holding together good, but we're not riding it anymore.
Of course, right.
I would say at the end of the part where the crank has no pocket is where it's a stress riser.
Sure.
That's why it could be predictable, is because stress risers happen in spots like that, right?
Yeah.
So we have to, kind of like, make more of a taper there to eliminate that stress riser in the pocket, in the transition from the pocket to the thick part of the crank. So I was disappointed and I was sad, but at the same point of time, when like you realize like this is a hard trail and you're kind of like stoked.
Yeah, this is a hard trail. Yeah.
So we've probably got at least a couple months more delay on that, which is a bummer.
Right.
But I'm glad we caught it.
Yeah, for sure.
And the person, it was on Zach still, it was his bike, and he rides a lot.
Right.
Like, we're estimating mileage and hours. It's a lot. He put a lot of use on it. And it's not, usually these types of stress riser cracks, they're not so much from like big trauma force.
Right.
They're from lots of impacts and vibrations and pedal strokes.
Yeah.
So, I think it's good we caught it. I'm bummed it's a delay. I'm kind of stoked to be in the process. I feel like I'm really in the process.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
third revision.
Yeah.
Like still going, like not giving up. Like,
I was going to ask you that. So yeah, what is the takeaway, and how do you feel about this at this point?
And I mean, that thing too, where like you realize like or maybe some riders are going to relate to this more than others, but like there's trails where you're like, oh, this trail suits my skill set in a way where like riders that I'm maybe sometimes have a hard time being faster than I'm going to be able to be faster than them on this trail because it's hard and because there's something hard about it that I know it's hard, but I feel like it's harder for everyone. Like that whole
it's harder for everyone else.
Not
than it
everyone.
is harder.
I mean, obviously,
Right,
not for
right.
Win or whatever.
Right,
it's easy
right.
for them, but
the people that I happen to be riding with,
or for
today
some people,
or
right?
whatever,
Like it's like, hey, this is I know how to do that, or I'm learning how to do it, or even if I don't yet, it's like if I do learn how to do that,
right.
I'm gonna have a big advantage over everyone who doesn't know how to do that.
Right.
As opposed to ripping down cactus, it's like, hey, like
right.
mostly everyone can go pretty fast down
there,
cactus.
yeah. Yeah.
Like the gap between the fast XC guys and the fast enduro guys, there isn't one. In fact, I think if you
Right.
look at the leaderboard on
Yep.
Strava, like you see like full XC guys towards the top and full down because and women, it's because the trail doesn't have a lot of separators.
Differentiators, right.
Doesn't have a lot of separators.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, making a crank, bringing a crank set to market.
Yep.
Like we've considered so many things and made so many difficult choices and been through so much of the process, and we're still going. It's like, yeah, like someone might have it easier than us, someone might not, but it's like,
Right.
this is, or like when I'm here working in the bike shop some days and it's hard.
Right.
And like sometimes it is hard.
Yeah.
Right. Like sometimes stuff doesn't go as planned and it gets, it's difficult. And it's like, well, if it was easy, everyone would do it. Right.
That's right. That's right. Bike shop owner, engineer. Yep.
So that's kind of exciting and fun and sad and like a bummer, but also like another story it reminds me of is like when I was surfing in Hawaii, I lived in Hawaii when I was a kid,
Right.
didn't live there for my whole adult life, went back as, I don't know, a 30-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm surfing and one of the locals just gives me mad attitude in the water, like almost trying to chase me out of the lineup.
Right.
And like, I didn't show this, but my inside reaction was, oh, like I'm in the system. Like here I'm doing it. Like this
Right.
is happening right now.
Right.
Yeah, it's like you don't want someone to be hostile and whatever, but like it's like, no, this is it. This
Right.
is the thing.
Right.
Like,
Right. And this is where I embrace this.
right.
There's a certain part of you that embraces
It's
that.
like, but yeah, it's like, right.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
That's good. That's good. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I was hesitant to share
Yeah.
because, I was like, if I share this, is it going to cause people when we do come to market to have less trust in the product? It's like, I thought about, it's like maybe some people,
Right.
but I think that some people will understand that this is part of doing your homework.
Right. And we don't get to hear, you got to think that, especially on something like cranks, that most cranks that come to market that have been tested have this type of revisions and iterations.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if you're like Raceface or Shimano or SRAM at this point, a company that's been making cranks for many years,
Right.
You've learned a lot of
Right.
things. A lot,
But I mean, when
curve.
they were
You're past the steepest part of
Right.
the learning curve, maybe on some
But when
of this
they're
stuff.
first getting into it, right?
Right.
You got to think that these.
Well,
things
I
are-
remember not to talk. There's one of those three brands that I have seen many, not just cracked, but broken cranks from,
right.
and not for a long time. To their credit,
Right.
This isn't like a recent thing,
Right.
but maybe some of what we're going through here, they went through with
production.
That's part of it. Is I would rather learn this now, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like I've seen companies that made it. Learn
Right.
this in production, learn some
Yeah.
of these things in production, and see the cranks failing on the market and see the next generation.
Yep.
And by failing, most people don't ride as much or as hard as Zach.
Right.
So like even the ones that needed a revision, it doesn't mean everyone has a cracked
Sure.
crank. Right?
Sure.
Like,
Exactly.
we need to inspect yours still, but I'm pretty sure you
It's
and I
probably
don't have
not going to
cracked
have
cranks.
it. Right. Exactly.
And maybe you do. We'll find out. So that's all good and well.
Yeah.
Shop rides.
Yep.
Women's Wednesday every other Wednesday.
Yep.
Shop ride every other Thursday. We're thinking about adding a Sunday. Chime in. Send me a note if you think you would go on that Sunday
Yeah.
morning ride.
What time Sunday morning?
To be determined, but probably
Okay.
around 9.
Yeah. Let us know your preference too.
I would say between 8 and 9
Yeah.
would be probably the time.
Yeah.
Probably not 7, but
Right. And maybe not 10.
probably not 10.
Yeah. So somewhere between 8 and 9. Send us your preference.
Yeah, and no promise, but we're very seriously considering
No,
having a
that's-
Sunday.
the
Our
Sunday-
Sunday morning shop ride was legendary.
Yes. I
In
was
fact,
going to say.
Many of us that are friends with each other kind of met on that shop ride.
Right.
Right. And there's legendary friendships and from that and just community from that
Yeah.
ride. So maybe we'll bring it back.
That'd be fantastic.
I went on that ride like almost every single Sunday for like over 10 years.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Other shop news?
Well, let's see. I have had three, I can think of off the top of my head, 3 different brands that I got notes about price increases this week from.
Oh, interesting.
So Mondraker announced major price increases.
Okay.
They were one of the brands that hadn't done an initial price increase.
Right.
But theirs covers 2, I would say.
Yeah.
Specialized announced a price increase for pretty much across the line on their bikes. And another major partner of ours that hasn't made the public announcement yet, and I don't know if they will by the time this podcast airs. So
Right.
I'm not going
Okay.
to I'm not going to steal their thunder or whatever. But that one is a big partner for us.
Right.
And someone that will affect a lot of our customers, and already had a price increase, which doesn't narrow it down because all of our big partners, other than Mondraker,
Already had.
Orbea has not had a price increase
Right.
at all,
Oh.
and says they won't. But most of our main trade partners have all had price increases,
Yeah.
and actually all of them have announced all of them have announced a second round coming in September, early September.
Right.
So I think the sum total is maybe an average of like 12 to 20%, depending on the model, higher than it was in March or
Wow.
February.
Yep.
And we are also seeing like it's hard for us to find bikes to order that we think we can sell.
Right.
So in other words, like no one has bikes. One thing that's been working well for us the last couple of years is a lot of our vendors had too many bikes from
Yep.
the COVID era optimism and everything.
Right.
And we were buying them and selling them, and people were getting great deals, and we were still eking out a living.
Right.
And those are all dried up. Like that's why we had to close the First Street location. This is
Right.
the first week with the First Street location closed. I want to touch back on that a little bit.
Sure.
too.
Sure.
So our bike inventory is lowered in the last 4 months, I would say, by somewhere around 160 bikes, which is a significant,
Yeah.
I like a large. Put it this way, I think our total bike industry, our total bike inventory at that time might have been near 400.
Yeah. So I mean, like
It's a
that's
significant reduction.
30%.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's a significant.
Maybe
And
even
so,
more, yeah.
and that isn't necessarily because we were trying to set out to lower our inventory. It's really mostly because
You can't replace.
we're not like shuttle LTs sold out, shuttle AMs sold
Jeez.
out, XO bullets, XO Volas sold out.
Right.
Like till at least October in most cases. We have random sizes,
Right.
right? We still have. When I say sold out, I mean for us to order.
Right.
So like, just to add in a little bit of hope, like we have all sizes of shuttle LT except medium still in stock.
Mm-hmm.
That won't last, but we do for now.
Right.
And we have like random sizes of XO bullets and Volas in stock.
Right.
But the medium tan and the large tan that we've been sold out on for a couple months on the XO Vala, which was a great seller for us.
Right.
The next one we're going to get is probably October.
Mm.
Like, and the one brand that seems to still be providing like some pretty good deals is Orbea. So like we keep getting Orbeas at 15% off.
Mm.
So
What do you
that's nice.
think
2025 Orbeas with the Gen 5 Bosch motor. So this is a 100
nice.
meter Orbea
Right.
at 15 A new 2025 Wilds is mostly what we're focusing on for that.
Yep. Great bike.
And we keep bringing more in from Spain. Those, and because there's not a lot of other stuff on sale, and because it's Bosch and
Yeah.
good and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. See the podcast from a little while ago with Jeff from here at the shop after he got back from the Basque Country and visiting Orbea. That was a great podcast, and learn a little bit about their culture and their And their bikes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you see that the UCI is considering a ban on
What in the
32-inch wheels?
world? Yes.
See, this is another one of those, like, this is how you know that this is like,
It's
This
coming.
is how you know they're legit.
Yeah,
The
it's because
32-inch wheels are now in the system.
Oh, man, right?
And correct me if I'm wrong. Do you remember when there was rumors of UCI banning 29-inch wheels?
29.
I don't think I'm making this up.
I don't think you're making
this
it
isn't
up.
the Bernstein Bears or whatever.
Right, exactly. I think it
This
might
happened
be.
on this timeline.
Yeah. Yeah, so considering a ban on the 32-inch wheels, I wonder if is that going to be both downhill and on cross country?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it was, Leadville just happened, and it was really cool seeing all the different bike setups, from drop bars to uber light, cross country bikes. I hear that. I think Kate Courtney, world champion cross country, former cross country rider, set a new course record for the women's.
Nice.
6:48. Oof. Yeah. And what's his name? Keegan. I'm not gonna get his last name, but anyways, he rode a Blur set up with drop bars.
Wow.
And looking at their tire and wheel setup, I was like, ooh. I bet you 32-inch wheels would do well on that.
Yeah.
And in the XC for sure, right? I mean, yeah.
I feel like we just need to do everything we did with 29ers all over again. We need to say they don't work in Europe, they don't work in Colorado,
Right.
They don't work for short people.
Right.
They make the wrong size brake bumps.
Right.
UCI might ban them.
Right.
They're for kooks.
Harder to keep accelerated.
Remember when 29ers were for kooks?
Yeah. Man.
They would totally work. 29ers were for,
Yeah. It was a very niche, yeah.
You might be a really cool kook, but it was kooky.
Yeah, it was. But UCI maybe getting out ahead of it.
And also, too, when it got started, a lot of the shred culture kind of just felt like 29s were for kooks. I feel like Pink Bike went hard on that.
Yeah.
Like 26 for Life crowd was strong at first.
Right.
And so maybe we'll do the whole pick a wheel size BAD about it.
Right. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how quickly the 32 actually starts coming to market.
Yeah, and who benefits from it, if people benefit from it. I mean, I think it's pretty clear really tall people will.
Right.
That's what I said about 29ers. So we'll see where the cutoff is.
Well, I was walking through the shop. I always like walking through the shop. And I noticed there's a couple of Blurs that are out on the display floor reading about Leadville and what have you. Makes me think about that.
Nice. Nice.
32s also make me think about that.
Nice. I have like a new bike fantasy.
Oh, you do?
Well, I've had two different new bike fantasies going in the back of my head, and they suddenly merged into one.
Okay.
So one new bike fantasy is kind of like a nicer version, not that they're not nice, of like a PK Ripper almost.
Okay.
Maybe with a suspension fork, maybe not.
Ooh, right.
Big Ripper. Big
Yeah,
Ripper.
yeah.
Not a
Yeah,
BMX bike, a 29er, 27, something with big wheels.
Right.
For kind of riding around town. Tustin's pretty flat, a pretty fairly comfortable upright riding position, but something I can still like maybe wheelie and bunny hop and manual and stuff.
Right.
And maybe something I could go one day join, like one of the, those rides where a lot of them are on Big Rippers and they're like doing wheelies through like urban areas.
Yeah, for
There's some
sure.
of those in Santa Ana.
Yeah.
I follow some of them. So it would be good for that.
Yep.
That kind of stuff. Just riding to and from work, that kind of thing.
You could go to the pump track on it.
I could conceivably go to the pump track on it.
Yep.
And then I've also been sort of having this like, do I want a single speed? Do I want a single speed trail bike?
just saw a post about this too.
And like, I've just been kind of like, maybe I want a single speed, and or like someone will be talking about how everyone needs a hardtail, and I'll be like, I'm never getting a hardtail. And again, in the back of my head, it's like, unless it's maybe a single speed, right? Like I've just been having that little pinging, like, and then the other day, yesterday I was in here. I know some bikes were coming in that we had just freshly built up that came into stock that weren't in stock, and it was a Kona unit, 29er single speed. I was looking at it, and I pictured it with like kind of high rise bars, not too, maybe 50 ish,
Right.
and a suspension fork on it, and the two fantasies merged into one right there. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not making any promises, but I kind of want to do it.
Yeah. Maybe I could do that with my Hanzo.
Right. You could.
I've been,
and you know what? That might be, and you know what? This is where I pause. Maybe the Hanzo is the right choice. Maybe what I need to do is do that on a Hanzo. Maybe that would make more sense for me.
Yeah,
but the thing about it is, okay, I have to look at the head angle on the unit and the head angle on the Hanzo.
Yeah.
But I kind of want this to be like a single speed that I would ride like
on a trail.
A Black Star.
Yeah.
Which, not that you can't do that on a Hanzo, but it'd probably be more fun on a unit.
Yeah, but what about down, whatever?
That's why I got to look at the head angles.
Yeah.
I
was going to ask you that on the unit. Like, what's the head angle on the unit?
Yeah, I don't know.
And, it's so funny. I think Brian from the shop posted a pic of a trail ride that he did with somebody on a single speed.
Well, we did a super fly custom build on, I think, an Esker for a shop local.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
68-degree head angle on the unit. My fantasy just collapsed on itself.
It's a Hanzo.
It's a Hanzo. Yeah, but thanks for helping me get clarity on that.
Sure.
The Hanzo does have the sliding dropouts.
It does have the sliding dropouts.
Cool.
Steel is real.
There's an aluminum Hanzo also, which maybe that's right for this one.
Oh, an aluminum, really?
Lighter. Kind of a lot
true.
lighter, I think.
That's true.
But the steel one, I think the steel Hanzo has more aggressive geometry and just looks sick. It looks so sick.
It does.
Do I have any frames up there?
You could go look.
Huh. All right.
I've been doing a little more standing pedaling on my commute into work, and I was thinking, I wonder if this comes around every once in a while. I wonder if a single speed would be kind of cool.
Single speeds are the coolest.
They are. And, single tracks on Black Star coming back down, I think a single speed would be fantastic on those.
Yep.
Even even two monkeys. Because
it's not real bumpy. It's more just loose and fast.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Because that's the thing, like big, chunky, high speed on a hardtail is a little bit rough.
It is.
So let me know. Maybe I'll join you on your what length cranks would you do on your?
Okay, this is really. I'm glad you asked because I hadn't really thought this through.
Okay.
And I think it's a really good question. I feel like I need to try a bunch of different. Wow. Right. Okay, so maybe 165 or 160, maybe 160.
Maybe 160.
160, and I just have to gear it down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you'd have to gear it down a little bit because the shorter cranks you need to gear down a little bit anyways.
Right.
So be geared down a little bit.
So I'd maybe run like a 2232. I think that's geared down a little bit.
Okay.
Or what did we used to run on 29? Do you remember? I think I was running 2030. 20 in the back, 32 in the front. Or no, I think maybe 2230 would be the move on this bike.
Yeah.
30
I think
in the
so.
front, 20, maybe even 2830.
Yeah.
Or 28 in the front, 22 in the back.
That might be okay.
Yeah. 28 in the front, 22 in the back for me right now.
Yeah. And given we're of a certain age,
But I still
know?
have to like sprint around town.
that'll
I
be a
can't
little
have it
bit
too low.
that'll be a little bit rough on that.
Can't be too much lower than 2 to 1 because 2 to 1 is probably ideal for around town,
Yeah. Yeah.
or maybe even a little low.
I think I had like a 2-to-1 single speed commuter at one point.
Maybe I would do one of those like kicker 2-speed drivetrains.
Oh man, right. You could do that. That would be throwback.
So like yeah.
Man. Yeah, we should look into that.
All right.
See,
Food for thought.
my single speed fantasy doesn't include the around town side, so I'd be more okay not having to, I could go lower.
I really want a
okay.
bike that would be fun and comfortable for me to ride to work.
Yeah.
That wouldn't like wear out my
Right.
high roll, my new high roller 2 that I'm gonna.
Oh,
Is it the
yeah.
2?
Or the 3?
The 3.
I think they just call it the high roller.
It's right
though.
there.
Yeah, you're right. Let me see.
There is a new high roller, and I can't wait to put it on my bike. It's like the buzz around the shop
They
right
just
now.
call it the high roller. It's not a 2 or a 3. You see that?
The new high roller.
And I would love to see the shape of this. Does it have the same shape like the original high roller? It was pretty squared off.
I don't think this is quite as squared off as that.
That was a really cool profile, though.
I think just a theory, but I think they needed that super squared off profile to help offset how narrow rims were.
Oh, interesting.
Because, downhill rims back then, 21 internal, 23
Yeah.
internal.
Yeah,
723 was the wide downhill rim from Mavic.
right.
It looked really wide at the time, 23 mil internal.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you got a 23 mil internal, that kind of makes the tire rounder.
You're right. It does.
So a tire that has more inherent squareness is necessary to
Yeah.
offset that.
Yeah, this looks like I think everyone's really loving this.
Yeah, it's getting high
Rave
praise for
reviews, yeah.
front use mainly, but I would try that on the rear also.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
We have some good times on the original High Roller. Good memories. High Roller 26,
Oh yeah.
super tacky in the front,
Yeah, for sure.
dual compound in the rear.
Yeah. I think definitely I was running high rollers on my single speed bikes.
That was the tire I think that I came to learn that downhill tires change your bike so much.
Oh.
I feel like we could never talk about it enough on the podcast. How much going from
Yeah.
like a trail tire to an enduro tire to a downhill tire to an XC tire, how much that changes the climbing and the handling. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
More than anything, I feel like.
Yeah.
Really.
It makes me want to it's been a long time since I've run downhill casing tires.
Like I would. Here's a question. Just occurred to me. Would you rather ride an enduro bike with XC tires uphill, or a cross country bike with downhill tires?
Cross country bike with downhill tires.
think?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's going to be close though. I don't know. Because okay. Bring it a little bit closer. Like what would have been like a 32, 33 pound all mountain bike,
right.
like a high tower
Right.
with XC tires, or a Blur with downhill tires. Who wins? With which bike?
Climbing?
Yeah. I'm going to flip it in a second.
The high tower with the XC.
Maybe,
climbing,
right?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so now downhill. Blur with downhill tires,
Blur
high
with
tower with
Blur with downhill
icons.
tires. I'm gonna ride.
So this is my point.
I'm gonna ride the Blur with downhill tires uphill.
This was my. I just dreamed up this question to illustrate the point of what a huge difference tires
Yeah.
make, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think I agree. I think like going down something gnarly at Mammoth, I'd rather ride a Blur with downhill tires than a high tower with XC tires.
Oh yeah.
And going up Harding or Black Star or something, I think I'd rather ride a high tower with the lightest XC tires
For
versus a Blur with like super, full on downhill casings.
Yeah. Until you have to ride that same bike
The other way.
the other way.
Right.
on any of the trails down from the
Oh
top
yeah,
of
you
the-
can really make the worst of both, the ultimate worst of both worlds this way.
Yeah. That is. I definitely. I am getting close to needing to replace my tires on my Bullet.
Yeah.
The Cryptotalls are. I have the Enduro Cryptotalls, and they've done well. Handling, wear, they're a great all around tire. But I think I'm gonna go downhill casing something.
It's crazy how worldviews can change, like on tires, for example. I remember when 650 grams seemed like the outer limit of weight that I'd want on my bike on a tire.
Yeah.
And then I remember when 800 grams seemed like the outer limit of weight for a tire that I'd want on my bike. And in between, there was like 700.
Right.
And like now all our tires are like 1,200 grams.
Yeah.
And that's if you're running EXO casing, right? Like that's not even
1,100. Yeah. EXO casing. I think you're in that 1,000 to 1,100 on the
Okay.
EXO.
Downhill casing is probably, who knows?
Who knows? 13,
we don't
14.
use grams to talk about that.
Exactly. Should be talking in terms of pounds. Yeah, you pick up a box of like or any tire, a downhill casing tire, and that thing it's meaty.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. 100 Newton meters with downhill tires.
I got a story from the shop today.
All right.
So we got this bike, Shuttle AM, issues with the Bosch system.
It happens.
It can happen even with the best stuff. We
Yep.
know Bosch is probably your best, probably the most reliable, and it could still happen, right?
Yep,
So
for sure.
customer's pretty disappointed it's taken. We take care of them. We get it fixed. Along the way, you diagnose it. Bosch tells you what to do. You do it.
Yeah.
If it fixes it, great. If not, you tell Bosch what's happening now. They tell you the next step,
Yeah.
right? So in the course of doing those steps, we did $430 of labor.
Right.
So one of the guys comes up to me, is like, we had already taken off like about $280 of it, because the person bought the bike here. It's not their fault that the Bosch stuff went bad. We want to help them out. And there's still some labor from some of the, because like we spent a lot of time on this bike, and the
Right.
techs care about the shop. They're like, are we really going to comp all this labor?
Right.
Like I just want to double check.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
and it's like, well, when we're on the sales floor, we tell customers pretty regularly, like, if you bought it from us and it's covered by warranty, we usually comp the labor.
Wow.
Right. And so we should probably do that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, whoa. It's like, hopefully we can get some help from Bosch, but I don't think Bosch does that. So maybe we're going to find out. But like,
Right.
I forget the answer to whether Bosch does that. But just keeping track which ones of our brands do and don't do that is, but most of them don't.
Most of them. So they only comp the part.
Right.
Wow. No labor.
If they're good, they often will send us a call tag for the part we have to send back, so we don't have to pay that shipping. But sometimes we also have to pay shipping back to them, which we also don't charge the
Right,
customer
of
if they
course.
bought it from us.
Yeah.
And I just like thinking about this as I was driving home. It's like, it's sometimes hard to pitch to a customer why they really want a bike shop
Yeah.
that
Because
cares about their outcome when they buy a bike. And it's like, it's hard to put a dollar value on it. Well, for this guy, just in this one visit, it was $430.
right.
Right? Like, just food for thought. Like,
Yeah.
and you know what? Like this, if you think that I'm saying this from hey, like come to the path, buy a bike from us, I am saying that. But you know what? We also ship a lot of e-bikes.
And you don't charge for the shipping?
That's true. But also this happens to customers sometimes with bikes that can't just bring them into us.
Right.
And I'm here to say, like, those customers are going to buy another bike from us too. Like, we took care of them in one way or another too.
Yeah.
That being said, if you're buying a nice e-bike and your local shop who treats you well has it,
Right.
And like, we're probably the same price as them. So if they have it, you probably are already buying it from them. I probably don't have to tell you this.
Totally.
But if like there's some shop who will sell it to you for less online and your local shop has it, might be worth buying it from your local shop. Or even if like, say we have it in stock, your local shop's going to get it in a week or two.
Yep.
I hate to say this, but maybe buy it from your local shop.
Exactly.
And I'll tell you, like, in service of getting your business, I'll tell you, like, you're going to be fine if you buy it from us. Down to, like, in some cases, we have paid local shops to do this work for people who bought a bike from us, right?
Right.
So that they still have that same experience that they would have had if they're local and brought it back to us.
Right. The local shops get the warranty, and then you reimburse the local shop.
That being said, like, I love selling e-bikes all over the U.S. We do it every day. We're not going to stop. It's the best. Lots of people get bikes they wouldn't have gotten otherwise. We get new customers. Yeah. But when someone calls me and they're like, "Hey, my local shop can do it for $200 less. Can you match them?" I'm like, "Why would you not just buy it?" Like, I'll just tell them, like, "Oh, I would think that you'd probably maybe buy it from them because it could be good to have their support too."
Yeah.
And and I mean that. Like, I want our customers to have the best possible experience. I'm not just here to sell the most number of bikes, right? So, interesting stuff.
It's like Miracle on 34th Street.
How so?
Where the one store is like, "Well, hey, you know what? We don't have that, but I know that other store, the other toy store has it down the street." And it becomes this thing, I mean, yeah, to a certain extent.
Bike shops do that. So there's a whole network of bike shops around here that will totally trade inventory and send each other customers. And it's cool. Customers benefit, the bike shops benefit, the bikes find their riders, and the riders find their bikes. Right.
And so to a certain extent, like you said, you hate to do it. I mean, that's half in jest, but to a certain extent, like if there's a local bike shop over there, you're like, you'll get a similar service here, but if you get it from your local bike shop and they're going to take care of you, you're going to have
especially with the e-bike.
Totally.
If it's a shop that's good at working on e-bikes, which that's part of the problem, is a lot of towns don't actually have a shop that's good at working on e-bikes, in which case you're probably better off buying it mail, like having us ship it to you.
Right.
But if you have a local shop that you see, or that you have personal experience or anecdotal experience that they fix people's e-bikes when they don't turn on, and when they turn on but they don't give the ride assist, or it's jerky, or all the different things, right? If you've heard of them fixing those kinds of problems, like, I would say support them and give them your business if you can. Right. Now, like I just said, a lot of bikes are not just available to have. So like sometimes they might have sold the one they got already, and you might have to come to us. So that's okay too.
And that's okay too.
And also, I say that we are that shop for our local community, right? So I see every day, like, man, it's a good thing this guy bought this at a shop, and like, bummer for us, I guess, but like,
it's a good thing that because he'd be pissed.
Like, yeah, like we're right.
Yeah,
it's our problem, not theirs.
Right,
and it's good for them. That is good for them.
Oh, that is so greatly appreciated.
Yeah,
Miracle on 34th Street. In real life.
I have one last one that I was thinking about.
All right.
When was the last time your chain fell behind your cassette?
Well, for me, it's been a long time.
Right. Remember when that was just normal?
Yeah, totally.
That was like first of all, even if you did have your B-adjust set right and your limit screw set right, and even if your derailleur hanger didn't bend after you did that,
yeah, exactly,
you still could lose your chain behind your cassette.
You
sometimes.
Could very much.
And a lot of times people didn't have their limit screws set right, or they did, but then their derailleur hanger got bent.
Yeah.
And then it would happen even more.
Yeah.
I haven't been on a ride where that happened or had it happen to me in probably over a year.
Man.
I haven't helped anyone fish their cassette out from behind the spokes.
Yep, totally. I do know of somebody who just happens to be in this room, not named Tani or Ak. I think that was happening too.
Yeah.
But it was a bent derailleur hanger.
Right. And well, okay, so my kind of underlying reason for talking about this is, to me, I attribute this to transmission.
Yeah, the UDH.
The reason this doesn't happen anymore is transmission.
You think it's transmission or the UDH with the
How can you separate those two?
Yeah, that's right.
Those two are the same. I mean, like,
Yeah.
well, okay. Let me back away from that a little
Yeah.
bit, because if you have a UDH bike with a derailleur hanger and a non-transmission drivetrain,
This could happen.
You still can bend your derailleur
Yeah.
hanger. So yes, it's the transmission.
It is the transmission,
and the transmission's interaction with the UDH idea is part of what makes
Yeah.
this true.
Yeah. It's amazing. Like that interface, that's a pretty amazing
It's
invention.
also the clutch.
Yeah.
The clutch helps.
Yeah.
Or whatever your system has for adding tension to the chain. Remember, we used to have springs.
Right.
Like springs outside. We'd add springs to our derailleur to keep the chain tighter so that it didn't bounce around as much and bounce off.
Yeah. So, yeah, transmission / UDH.
It's
The UDH part of transmission.
a different world.
Yeah.
It's a different world where chains don't come off chain rings when you're riding. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was another thing.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you add a chain guide on your downhill bike and a single ring in the front,
Totally.
sometimes you'd lose your chain, even if it was set up right.
Right.
Because the chain didn't stick to we didn't have narrow wide yet.
Exactly.
So the chain just wanted to fall off.
No narrow wide yet. And just, I mean, the amount of like pieces on your chain guide to keep the chain on your chain ring, and then it still pops off.
And then people who had trail bikes with multiple chain rings, or who didn't want a chain guide with a bunch of drag on it.
Oh my gosh.
You'd lose your chain half the time you went down a run.
Completely.
Like if you went down Hawk,
No clutch, multiple chain rings. Yeah.
or even one chain ring with a minimal chain guide and not a full chain guide.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like maybe just a top guide and no roller, because the
Yeah.
roller does add
It
inefficiency
does.
and noise. And so like, it's like you go down Hawk, it's like you probably dropped your chain. Like,
Right.
that's a poor man's O chain.
Oh, man. Yeah, and that's okay. So part of what made the single speed so attractive to riding was remember how blissfully quiet it was?
And you never dropped your chain.
You never dropped your chain. Yeah,
that.
how quiet that was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Peace and quiet on a single speed. All you hear is your heart pounding out of your chest.
and you hear it in your ears.
You hear like that rushing in your ears.
Exactly. Exactly. Your lower back, that lower back pain and cramping. Yeah. That was pretty great.
That's a podcast.
I think it is.
Thanks, Hawk. Thanks, everyone. Let's all remember to love the bike we ride.